It's time for the players to say thanks. They got out yesterday on Fan Appreciation Weekend and mingled with the crowd, gave away T-shirts, shared some laughs, some autographs as well. A very good scene here yesterday. The Brewers, of course, no postseason, but the fans showing up, more than 2.7 million all year to Miller Park. And now today, it's the final home game of 2010. The Marlins and the Brewers here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Our starters, it's going to be Chris Capuano. Going to be making his 8th start of the season. He goes up against Alberto Mendez, the youngster, in his 4th Major League start this afternoon against Milwaukee. How about that ERA of 1.56? So it's game 4 of the series here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Our coverage of Brewers baseball continues. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kashan. Happy Sunday to you. Brewers trying to finish strong, and they'll put Chris Capuano out there, and he has had a tremendously strong finish. Look at the numbers since September 1st. His ERA a sparkling 2.63. 9 home runs allowed during that stretch. However, Chris Capuano has made 3 consecutive quality starts. He's got his team 10 wins when he's had a chance to get out there and start. BA and Rock will talk more about pitching, plus give us their spin as we go into the final home game of 2010 here at Miller Park. Coming right back on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
At Menards on all your home improvement needs. By AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite, taste greatness. Well, the roof is closed here this afternoon. The sun is out, but temperatures in the 50s outside Miller Park, and a beautiful Sunday here for the final home game of the year. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. Well, Rock, we do it one more time, and I know the standings aren't where folks would like them. We certainly wanted to see a winning season this year, but we are blessed to have Major League Baseball here, and it's an absolute joy to come watch ball games at this ballpark.
Well, you know, it seemed like yesterday, and we talk about this, and it sounds corny, but it's so true. It seems like yesterday we were breaking spring training, getting all excited about the season, and, you know, you blink your eyes and it's all over with. This is the last home game here. You're right. We're very fortunate to have baseball here in Milwaukee. Always a lot of fun to come to the ballpark. Love going down to the field, watching batting practice, seeing everybody, the crew, the people we work with, outstanding. We're going to miss it here at Miller Park.
All right, and our diggers digging up the archives. How about the signature moment at Miller Park? It has to be Trevor Hoffman's 600 save.
Well, it took him a long time to get it, but finally able to do it. I know it's never happened before and may not ever happen again. 600 saves in the big league, just the way Trevor handled himself throughout the whole ordeal. It took him a long time to get it, but I tell you what, a big monkey off of his back, and I think off the back of the organization, and every fan, every person that was involved in that, glad that they were here to see it.
Well, it's a 162-game schedule. Number 81 here at home is coming up next. We'll put a ribbon on baseball at Miller Park in 2010. Stay with us. The Brewers and the Marlins coming up next. With a new sense of hope, all bonded by a common goal. Every season will turn out different, each with its own tale to tell. For the Brewers, Miller Park is the home of these stories. It's getting close to the tipping point here for the Brewers. In baseball, we don't remember games, we remember moments, and this season no different. And Escobar, what a play! And he will watch it go! Corey Hart has won the game! What a moment here at Miller Park. Into the left field, that's a foul ball! And that's going to be a game winner! Wins it for Milwaukee. McGee into left field, a base hit. Madison will score. Weeks will score right behind him as Casey McGee delivers. After 80 home games, it's time for number 81 to close the home portion of the season. Wins and losses come and go, but it's the moments that we'll remember. On the ground, Counsell. And there it is! Trevor Hoffman! A milestone, number 600! Some great memories from this season. The signature moment on the field, maybe the signature moment outside the ballpark. The unveiling of the statue of Commissioner Bud Selig. That was a great moment here in Milwaukee as well. We are set to go, ready for baseball. One last game here at Miller Park in 2010. And the Florida Marlins. This is game 4 of the series, and here is the lineup turned in by Edwin Rodriguez. It's brought to you by Subway. It's Maben, Martinez, and Morrison at the top. Dan Uggla, Gabby Sanchez, and Mike Stand in the middle with Wes Helms, Chris Hatcher, and Adalberto Mendez on the mound. And that lineup will match up against left-hander Chris Capuano.
Man, Cappy got that earned run average under 4 with his last outing. His last 4 starts have been very, very good.
As Maben chases the first pitch. And one away as Lorenzo Cain hauls it in. You've seen Cain. Let's introduce you to the rest of the Brewers defensively. Braun and Hart flank Cain in the outfield. The infield is Casey McGee, Craig Counsell, Ricky Weeks, and Prince Fielder. And a battery of Jonathan Lucroy and Chris Capuano, the Plains Farm and Fleet defense. And the home plate umpire is Dale Scott. He's the crew chief. Dan Isonia, Scott Berry, and Jerry Meals on the bases. So Capuano in his final start at Miller Park this season, matching up against Ozzie Martinez with one away here in the first. Has to be incredible satisfaction for Chris Capuano to get to this point and to finish the season in the starting rotation after 2 Tommy John ligament replacement surgeries in his elbow. As that gets by McGee, a hot shot from Martinez and a base hit.
Yeah, last 4 starts, as we talked about, for Chris Capuano, very, very good. Only 7 runs allowed in that stretch. That covers 24 in the 3rd inning. The changeup has been tremendous. He's been throwing up for strikes, locating his fastball. He's really only had 1 bad start this year. That came at the end of August against the Pirates. Gave up 6 runs in 3 innings. Other than that, he's been pretty good. But his last 4 have been terrific.
Start number 8 for Chris Capuano here this afternoon. The Brewers are trying to win the series. They won the first 2 games of the set. Yesterday, Florida shut out Milwaukee 4-0. And the Crew trying to exit Miller Park, winning 3 out of 4. Unfortunately, the Crew will not end up with a winning record here at home this year. But a win today would finish the home portion of the schedule at 40-41 for a record, and that's disappointing for the Brewers. You hope to come into your home ballpark throughout the course of a season and have a winning record, and that really has been the difference for Milwaukee this season, and they put themselves in an early hole this year.
Yeah, they didn't play very well at home in the first half of the season before the All-Star break, but you know, to get back to where they are at the home record, they've been playing pretty well. Actually, their road record in the first half was much better than their home record.
Capuano facing Logan Morrison. Started all 4 games, and he's hit 3rd in all 4 of these games for the Florida Marlins. Florida still without Hanley Ramirez. He might not play the rest of the year. He has an elbow injury. So the face of the Florida Marlins franchise, at least on the position player side, not available to Edwin Rodriguez for the final 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I think that's okay with the Marlins. They get a chance to take a look at a young player that's been swinging the bat pretty well in this series.
There's a base hit. Logan Morrison singles to right. And back-to-back hits in this first inning.
And speaking of young players swinging the bat well, man, this guy can swing it. Logan Morrison, particularly against left-handed pitchers, stays right in there. He keeps that front shoulder tucked and just gets that bat through the strike zone, keeps it in the hitting zone a long time. Nice level swing and another base hit from Morrison. Hitting over 360 against left-handed pitching.
Morrison had his major league tying 42-game consecutive on-base streak snapped here on Friday night. But he's right back at it. He's reached base with hits in the last 2 games. And now it's Dan Uggla. Uggla and Capuano both started in the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. The Marlins got Uggla in the Rule 5 draft. while Capuano was traded from Arizona to Milwaukee. Uggla with 31 homers, 99 RBIs. All of that production from a second baseman as he takes a strike.
How about the eye black? That's a war paint right there for Dan Uggla. I would imagine he thought that the roof might be open today. You got to figure, but not sure how much that's going to help. That's about as much eye black as you ever see.
You don't see eye black much anymore. A lot of football players have the little tape black pieces that they wear, but that's a good old-fashioned shoe polish under that eye. Nicely done, Dan Uggla. Strikes a menacing pose up there.
Yeah, looks like a professional wrestler. He can hit, though. Give him that. Look at those numbers. 5th season in the big leagues, another 30 home run year for Dan Uggla. 2 very productive second basemen in this series.
Dan Uggla and Ricky Weeks. Uggla is the first player in the history of baseball to have at least 30 homers in 4 consecutive seasons as a second baseman. As Capuano deals him strike 2.
And the first to use a whole tube of eye black on each eye.
Two on for the Marlins. Capuano looking for a ground ball here. He'd love to get out of this inning. 2 outs and 1 swing of the bat. Uggla is a big threat at the plate. And the Marlins' best run producer this season. And Capuano having a hard time syncing up with Jonathan Lucroy. Quick trip to the mound for Jonathan Lucroy.
If you can't get together on the side, just go out there and say, what do you want to throw? Capuano whispers to him, and they'll go back. Still probably give a sign to let the middle infielders know what's coming.
Count goes full, 3-2. Game number 155 here today. 7 games left after today's game. The Brewers will head to New York tomorrow. Actually, tonight. They'll start a series tomorrow with the Mets. 4-game series in New York, 3 in Cincinnati to wrap up the regular season. And he walked him, so the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the first. Temperatures in the 50s today in Milwaukee, so the roof is closed up. Panels are closed up. Good day to tailgate, though, so a lot of fans out early today. There's billows of smoke coming up from the grills as you look out over the Miller Park parking lots. Bases full, 1 away. Gabby Sanchez, a Rookie of the Year candidate. He's driven in 82 runs and 19 home runs this season, but only 1 hit in the series, and that came yesterday in his final at bat, but he did produce a run.
And Brewers have handled the middle of this Marlins order fairly well, particularly Sanchez.
Capuano in trouble here in the first. And he misses again. 2 balls, no strikes.
And when he struggles, it's normally because he can't throw the changeup for strikes. Early in the count, he's got to throw that for a called strike because not many hitters are going to swing at it. But if you're going to miss, I guess you'd rather miss down low than up too high.
Could be a moment of truth here early for Capuano. The 2-0 and a pop-up. Actually, that's going to send Hart deep enough to get the run home. So the out is made, but a run scores as Ozzie Martinez is delivered on the sacrifice fly. Martinez has his 83rd RBI, and it's 1-0 Marlins.
Well, you take that any day. I mean, a 2-0 count with the bases loaded with Gabby Sanchez up. You'll trade a out for a run any day. Now it's important for Cappy to be able to get the next hitter, get out of this inning.
And it'll be 20-year-old Mike Stanton, who has homered in this series, has 21 home runs in just 328 at-bats. It's about a half a season in the big leagues for Mike Stanton.
Can only imagine what this guy's going to be able to do once he understands his strike zone. Strikes out quite a bit, doesn't walk much. Marlins are hoping that his plate discipline will be a little bit better as time goes on.
That seems to be the hole in his swing, inside, especially down and in.
Yeah, only 90 miles an hour, a well-placed fastball in the inside corner.
But you have to make sure you get it in there, because if it leaks back over the plate, he'll do what he did to Chris Narveson. Stanton homered in the 7th inning yesterday against Narveson. Most who saw him coming up knew he'd be playing on Sundays, but they probably thought he'd be playing football on Sundays. And yet at 20 years of age, he's already in the big leagues, and he has already proven to be a long ball threat right away.
Yeah, got that one last night on the end of the bat. Saw where it end up. He's a strong kid.
No balls, 2 strikes on Stanton. Stanton is out of the Los Angeles area. He had signed a letter of intent to play football for USC, wide receiver and a defensive back. At 6'5", you can imagine the kind of wide receiver he would be. 6'5", 233. A mountain of a man. Reminds many of a young Dave Winfield. Not just big, tall, but athletic. Has a great arm.
And a little Derek Lee in him, too. I mean, the way he stands up there at the plate. Derek Lee started, he spent a lot of time with the Marlins.
Lee now with the Atlanta Braves. Traded from the Cubs to Atlanta. 2-2. 2 men are on. Capuano fighting his command early, but a chance to get out of it with just 1 run.
And Cappy got away with one there. That changeup out over the plate up in the zone. You can see the reaction of Stanton. Says, I had a good pitch to hit. And he got under it, fouled it straight back. That was a changeup right down the middle. Now belt high. I wouldn't throw that again.
This will be pitch number 23 of the inning. It's a high number. 2 outs, and might have had a play at second base. Weeks wasn't quite there yet. Capuano was out there with bases loaded and 1 away. Retired Gabby Sanchez, sacrifice fly. Now a chance to get out of it. Little pop-up. Lucroy has a play. Hitting over. So Capuano dodges an early bullet at Miller Park today. Now the Brewers coming up for the first time against Adalberto Mendez. Here's the Subway lineup. It's Ricky Weeks, Corey Hart, Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, Casey McGee, and Lorenzo Cain in the middle. McGee still with 99 RBIs. And then it's Counsell, Lucroy, and Capuano rounding it out.
Yeah, good numbers in 3 starts for Mendez. You know, here at the Florida Marlins, a 156 earned run average. You know, less hits than innings pitched, 15 hits in 17 and a third innings. You know, split time between AA and AAA this year, had 40 appearances both out of the bullpen and in the starting rotation in the minor leagues.
He's just 28 years of age, getting his first chance in the big leagues after a period of endurance down in the minor leagues. Started as property of the Chicago Cubs. And now with the Florida Marlins, he's been impressive. That 156 earned run average from the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. Weeks, Hart, and Braun will start it for the Brewers this afternoon. Ricky Weeks has had a good homestand. 11 for 23, hitting .478 on the homestand. And he's raised his batting average to .271. On base percentage of .365. As he takes a called strike. 3-2 the count. And there's ball 4. So a good start. The Brewers have a base runner in the first inning. Defensively for the Marlins today, Logan Morrison, Cameron Maybin, and Mike Stanton in the outfield. The infield is Wes Helms, Ozzie Martinez, Dan Uggla, and Gabby Sanchez. Chris Hatcher does the catching today, catching Adalberto Mendez. And here is Corey Hart, 30 homers, 96 RBIs. Mike Stanton will settle into this one. And 1 away.
Yeah, a little disappointing that the Marlins did not allow Mike Rivera to catch a game in this series. Former Brewer. That's the way it goes.
I'd like to see Mike Rivera get an at-bat or 2.
Yeah.
It's good to see Mike the other day. He's picked up here with the Florida Marlins, and always fun to chat with.
Always has a smile on his face. He was mixing it up with the guys around the batting cage yesterday.
He's keeping a low profile, as you can see.
Tough year for Mike.
Braun sends one deep left field, and there she goes. A 2-run home run for Ryan Braun. And the Brewers have a 2-1 lead in the first. Number 24 for Braun gives him 98 runs batted in.
And no doubt of a slider from Mendez. That ball just stayed right in the middle of the plate, and Ryan Braun waited back. Knocked it out of here way back and left. Only the second home run allowed by Mendez. There's that slider. Looked like Brawny was waiting for it. That elbow pad didn't seem to bother him on that swing. No doubter.
So Braun belts number 24, stays hot, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee. Answering the Marlins first inning. Now Prince Fielder.
Yeah, watch the way he waits back. Those hands stay back, and that
slider did nothing. The 0-2 to Prince. Slashes one foul. Count stays at 0-2. So here's our Powerball home run leaderboard at this point. Fielder leads the club with 31. Hart has 30. And now Braun with 24. Brewers could have 3 with 30 homer seasons this year. And it would be the first time since 1982 that that's happened. Milwaukee could have 3 players with 100 RBIs as well, which would be the first time since Harvey's wall bangers of '82.
And every one of those players would trade a lot of those numbers for a playoff run at the end of September. Now, we talk a lot about that stuff, 100 RBIs, all the home runs, but, the guys down the field, they don't talk about it too much. That's something that you reflect upon at the end of the year.
They leave it up to guys like us to bring it up. As Fielder grounds out. So Braun keeps climbing the list. That home run was his 127th of his brief career. And he is tied with Ted Williams. Most home runs in the first 4 seasons. It is an impressive list. And with every home run, Braun keeps clicking away. He could catch Ryan Howard. Frank Robinson probably out of reach. But you never know.
This gives you a sense how good he has been in 4 years. To be on a list with Ted Williams, that's something else. And the amazing thing about Brawny, his August and September, the incredible stretch he's on.
Braun has been able to raise his batting average from in the low 270s to near 310 now. He's got a chance to finish over 310. Came in batting 306. McGee sitting on 99 RBIs. And what a feat that will be. Casey McGee leads all National League third basemen in runs batted in. Many questioned whether McGee could answer a terrific rookie year. That one's hit well to right. Stanton with room. He's got it. And the side retired. But Ryan Braun strikes. Number 24 for Braun. And it gives the Brewers the lead. Run homer in the bottom of the first. Time for our carsoup.com email the booth question. Vern in Milwaukee wants to know, how do you view the chances of Chris Capuano being a Brewer next season? He is a free agent at season's end.
And Capuano can entertain any offer that any team gives him. And the way he's throwing, he certainly would be in the mix with somebody, if not the Brewers.
Might not get a long-term contract based on his injury history and the 2 ligament replacement surgeries in his elbow, but you figure the Brewers would be at the top of the list, seeing as how they brought him back. We had a chance to ask Capuano that very question a couple of days ago. Here's his response.
Yeah, I haven't given it a lot of thought because, for me this year, my goal was to finish the year healthy and to try to get back in the starting rotation. And I've got one more start left here on Sunday, and I haven't allowed myself to think beyond that.
It's certainly a high caliber, good quality character kind of guy. I mean, it's an amazing story when you follow Chris Capuano, what he's been through. And again, I'm sure they had some loyalties toward the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers were the team that stuck with him as long as they did, and now they're reaping the benefits. I mean, you're not going to find a better, more committed player than Chris Capuano. It's just a matter of what the Brewers are going to do in the offseason, who they're going to have, and they've got a lot of arms to look at and to consider in the offseason.
Well, Capuano stayed under the Brewers' umbrella while he was coming back from his surgery. And, players at that point, they can choose who they want to recover from, at least in the shoes of Chris Capuano after his surgery. And he wanted to stay with the Brewers. And as he picks up his first strikeout, he lives in Arizona, lives in Phoenix anyway, and he was able to train with the Brewers, and he came all the way back. And he's one of those guys that'll keep a spot for Milwaukee based on the recovery and the fact that the Brewers gave him another chance. So he looks strong for sure, and I think he said it best as you look at his changeup. That's his money pitch. The fact that he's healthy, and he hopes to stay healthy, but there's always that hint in the back of your mind that after 2 surgeries, it could be his last pitch at any moment. You never know. I remember we saw Chad Fox try to come back right here at Miller Park. He was pitching for the Cubs, and he was coming back from a second Tommy John surgery. He was going along well, but he pitched here last year, maybe 2 years ago, and threw his last pitch in baseball. Capuano has a nice quick inning. 1, 2, 3. The Marlins retired in order. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin, and by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. 2-1 Milwaukee. They lead the Florida Marlins in the final game of the regular season here at Miller Park. Fan Appreciation Day yesterday. A lot of the players were out in the parking lots yesterday. That was kind of a cool sight. Players were out in some golf carts driving around throughout the lots as the folks were tailgating.
And saying thank you to the fans. Another great year at the gate for Milwaukee. Boy, you don't see too many teams do that with their fans.
Lorenzo Cain, maybe this is number one. He'll watch it go. A home run for Lorenzo Cain. His first Major League home run.
Yeah, look at him. Little silent treatment for Lo Cain. I love it. That's awesome. A no-doubter for his first Major League homer.
Well, you could see the silent treatment coming, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially he stood there for just a moment and kind of watched it go out. And his first Major League home run, what a thrill that has to be. Yeah, you see a little bit of his personality right there. We've enjoyed getting to know Lorenzo Cain. I think the best way to describe him, he's a Southern gentleman.
Yes.
You know, he ran into a little bit of trouble. He forgot what time, or didn't know what time the game was in Houston. You felt bad for him. Showed up late.
Well, he got there well before the game, but he missed stretch and he missed part of batting practice. But Ken Maka sat him down a few days. That was about the time that Gomez started to swing the bat a little bit. But Cain's back in the lineup, and not too many play a better center field than Lorenzo Cain.
Well, he's made some great catches this year. He had one here last night that they're still talking about. But he's on the board. He can sit with the sluggers now. He gets a spot next to Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder after he breaks the seal, gets the 0 off the board.
He's got that infectious smile, doesn't he, all around the ballpark? And
Fielder doing his best Lorenzo Cain impersonations. Counsell sends one to left, and it's off the glove of Morrison. Counsell on his way to second. Logan Morrison, a first baseman by trade, has had his troubles in left field. And that'll be a double for Craig Counsell. The first one for Cain.
Yep, fastball down and in. Look at the way he pops those hips open. Lorenzo Cain, one of those guys that you can't throw it inside too far for him to be able to get a bat on it. Watched it just a little bit. He didn't stand there too long.
he said, I got some pop. And there they go. That was great. Good stuff. 3-1. Milwaukee after the Cain homer. Every time you see Lorenzo, every day, and I mean every single day he's been here, I've said, how you doing, Lorenzo? When I first see him, he goes, another beautiful day in the big leagues. There's a guy who appreciates putting on that big league uniform. Lucroy sends one to left. Counsell will stop at third. So a couple of rookies getting into the action here.
Mendez,
Lucroy.
Yeah, Mendez having his troubles. I mean, this is the first start in the big leagues that he's struggled like this. And another slider that stayed in the middle part of the plate, and Lucroy able to bang it into left field. Well, nobody out. Brad Fisher holds up Craig Counsell. I'll tell you, Mendez had a heck of a first start for the Marlins. He beat the Phillies 1-0. Only allowed one hit through 6 innings. But much different story so far today.
Giving up 3 runs on 4 hits thus far. In his defense, that fly ball by Counsell probably should have been played, but an inexperienced left fielder in Logan Morrison. So Capuano a chance to either drive in a run or advance a base runner. We'll see what he does. With nobody out. Capuano has 1 hit this year. He's 1 for 13. But a pretty good hitter. He's a good athlete. Hasn't had a lot of experience swinging the bat in a while since he was a regular in the starting rotation in 07. Spent much of the season pitching out of the bullpen this year.
You just classify Chris Capuano as a good all-around athlete. He fields his position well. He runs hard. Once he does hit the baseball, if he hits the baseball, and he's got a good move to first. He controls the running game. And a very smart kid. He's an ACC guy.
Duke graduate. Count stays at 2-2. Ricky Weeks waiting on deck. 3 straight hits to start the second inning against Adalberto Mendez. It's 3-1 Crew. Home runs from Braun and Kane already. Capuano goes down on strikes.
Visit the official Brewers online shop at brewers.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics. Get your gear from the official source, the brewers.com shop.
So 1 away, 1st and 3rd now, and it's Ricky Weeks. Ricky has dropped the hands a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Kind of getting into the Corey Hart spot prior to the pitch. Meanwhile, Corey Hart has actually raised his hands. All about feel, right?
Yep, you just got to make constant adjustments up there at the plate, depending on what's feeling comfortable for you at a given time. Guys will change the stance, they'll change their bat. As the season goes on, you just don't feel the same, you know, from spring training all the way to the end of the season.
Probably the most famous to do that was Cal Ripken. How many batting stances, and you know, he'd change mid at bat sometimes.
Yeah.
So he'd be standing up tall once, he'd be in a squat the next time.
Not many Hall of Famers did that.
Right.
Some of us did that a lot. But yeah, I mean, Cal Ripken, toward the end of his career, his last 6 seasons, he probably had a different stance every year.
Yeah. The best imitator on the team, as far as stances go, is Prince Fielder. He can copy anyone, and that's kind of the bit before games when the team stretches together. Fielder will get up, and you got to know tomorrow it's going to be Lorenzo Cain's day for Fielder. Fielder will have Lorenzo Cain down. He actually watches video of these guys, and he can lock in their swings. You think about all those years that Fielder, you know, was tagging along with his dad in big league clubhouses, imitating various swings of major leaguers. He still does it today. Haven't seen him break out the Bill Schroeder swing yet, but I'm sure it's a good one.
He's never seen it. But that's just the way Prince has a way of, you know, keeping guys loose and,
right,
and stretching, making sure the guys are starting to get into it a little bit.
Jorge Sosa getting loose early here today. 2-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. You know, if the baseball thing doesn't work out for Prince Fielder,
I think it already has.
oh, okay.
But go ahead.
He's got a future in imitations. Foul back. He goes old school, new school. Ken Griffey Jr. is kind of his signature batting stance to copy.
Anybody down there do Prince?
Oh yeah, everybody does Prince.
Everybody does a Prince.
Matter of fact, he's even passed it down to the next generation of fielders. His young son is pretty good at it too.
His young son had a nice hack. What was that, yesterday or the day before? Hitting off the tee. I think it was Friday.
Yeah, taking some rips and
a lot of similarities between the two as far as their swings go. Start them early. Start them early.
First and third. Full count to Ricky Weeks. Runner goes, and a bouncer right on the bag. Ugla turns an easy double play. Boy, that couldn't have worked out any worse. Counsell takes off, or rather Lucroy, that ends up 2 outs.
Light holder from Goodwill. And Cheryl, as we close out September, October's coming up, big month for Goodwill.
Yeah, October is the #1 sales month for Goodwill because of Halloween. People know that it's the #1 spot to go for ready-to-made outfits, but also creative minds can develop their own costumes as well. Plus, we are in partnership with 75 haunted houses in Wisconsin and Illinois for their own costume needs. So that tells you something right there, too.
And 92 cents of every dollar is being donated for the mission of Goodwill, correct?
Right. The mission of Goodwill is to provide employment and training and other support services for people with disabilities or disadvantages. And 92 cents out of every dollar that, say, you shop at a Goodwill store, 92 cents out of every dollar goes back towards programs and services like our Workforce Connection Centers, where anybody who's looking for work can come in and receive services there. If you need to get your resume up to par, if you need to get some computer skills, we can help, and it's free. And we have three locations now in the greater Milwaukee area.
Well, Cheryl, thank you for your time, and Goodwill always doing good things.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, B.A., let's kick it back up to you.
All right, Telly, thank you. And thanks to Cheryl and all of our friends at Goodwill. Terrific play by Chris Capuano for the first out, showing some of that athleticism Rock was talking about. Clipping a very fast base runner in Cameron Maben for the first out of the inning.
And Cappy, one of those guys, puts himself in very good position to field once he gets rid of the baseball. Watch the way he keeps his shoulders square to home plate. And it gives you the ability to bounce off the mound either down the third base line or first base line. And a much tougher play for a left-handed throwing pitcher. But Cappy able to handle it nicely.
As Ozzie Martinez down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. A 3-1 Brewers lead. A 2-run homer from Ryan Braun gives him 98 RBIs for the year on his 24th home run. And Lorenzo Cain with his first major league home run. That came in the second. Probably barely even felt the ground under him as he circled the bases. Then he got stonewalled in the Brewers dugout after that.
And nothing like your first home run in the big leagues. You never forget it. You're still thinking about it. Man, why can't I do that more often?
That was fun.
That was awesome.
He hit a bomb too. It was up there in the second level in the bleachers above the Friday's Sports Grill out there in left field. So he actually got a chance to enjoy it a little bit. 2 up, 2 down for Capuano in the third. Capuano had a shaky first inning. A run scored, but he had the bases loaded behind him with just one out. And he managed to get through the inning with only that one run. It's like Prince Fielder blew out a glove. He's got to go for a new one. Matter of fact, he's got just a regular outfielder's glove. That's not a good sight.
No backup glove for Prince?
Well, we'll see if it works. Counsell hits a good throw. Big league quality grade leather right there. Fielder can catch with anything. Braun and Fielder will hit when we come back. 3-1 Milwaukee. Question for the week, and we'll give you this week's final results during our Brewers Live postgame show. And we just want to hear from you. We want to know what you think. Who's your pick for Brewers MVP this season? W for Weeks, X for McGee, Y for Axford, or Z for Corey Hart. Just text your answer to 234-234, courtesy of U.S. Cellular. Corey Hart leads off, then Braun, then Fielder. 3-1 Milwaukee. This pitcher for the Marlins, Adalberto Mendez, has mostly been pitching out of the bullpen, even in the minor leagues, pitching out of the pen. But the Marlins feel like they might have found something. Maybe he's a late bloomer. He doesn't have the overpowering stuff, but he's pitched well for the Marlins. Rock mentioned his outing against the Philadelphia Phillies. That was his first start in the big leagues. His last time out, despite giving up 10 hits, he gave up just one run to the Mets in 7 innings.
And one of those hits, a home run, the only run that he allowed.
Issues a leadoff walk. Second walk he's given up. Both have come to start innings. And now Braun will hit with a chance at 100. Because in the first inning, Ryan Braun connects. A 2-run home run gives him 98 runs batted in on his 24th home run. And another long ball, and Braun will drive in triple digits once again.
And it just continues to stay hot. An amazing finish to the season for Ryan Braun.
Braun in his 4th year in the big leagues. He was Rookie of the Year his first season in 07. The last 3 seasons he has been an all-star starter in the outfield for the National League. And the numbers back it up. You figure Braun's going to be there a long time if he stays healthy.
Yeah, 183 hits this year, and the only player in the National League with 200 hits a year ago. 2 more runs and he scores 100 runs. So, 2 more runs, 2 more RBIs.
And all of those numbers in a season in which Braun calls his most challenging of his career.
Now, there was about a stretch of about, 6-7 weeks where he was having a tough time. But the numbers speak for themselves in his big league career. One of the best starts to a career in the history of the game.
Braun trying to make it 3 consecutive years driving in 100 runs. He's hit at least 30 homers in his first 3 seasons. That might be out of reach this year, but you never know if it gets hot. Still 7 games remain after today, and he is at 24 home runs.
Yeah, that would be hot, wouldn't it?
That'd be a Troy Tulowitzki kind of run.
6 home runs in a week. I'd like to see it, though. It'd be tough to hit that many home runs in Citi Field. That's a tough ballpark.
That's the next venue for the Brewers. That one's hit well. One more stake. And there it goes. Ryan Braun, another 2-run homer. 25 home runs, 100 RBIs for Braun.
No, who would have thought, right? 3 weeks ago that Ryan Braun would be the first Brewer to 100 RBIs this year. Not even close. It was supposed to be away, ended up in off the plate, and that fastball ends up right where the slider ended up in his first at bat. 100 RBIs for Ryan Braun. What a finish.
Fans are still on their feet. They want him to come out.
Well deserved. Nice gesture by Prince Fielder. He stayed out of the box. He motioned Ryan to come on out. Ryan wasn't going to come out, but Prince said, "Get on out here so I can get an at bat here."
Well, what a moment here at Miller Park as Ryan Braun with 2-run homers. He is now the 3rd Brewer to have 3 straight 100 RBI seasons. He joins Richie Sexson and his teammate Prince Fielder. Fielder did it 07, 08, and 09. Sexson did it in 01 through 03. And there is your leader, the first to 100, Ryan Braun. And Fielder obliges way back. Prince Fielder, number 32. Six to 1 Milwaukee.
Now, good chance you get another standing ovation for Prince Fielder. Final home game, Ryan Braun. Prince Fielder with big flies. And a no doubter for Prince. Boom. Well, he hit it and he knew it. Big high finish.
And that is going to signal the end for Adalberto Mendez. Prince Fielder drives in his 80th run on his 32nd homer of the season. And what a day so far for the Brewer offense. We'll take a break. Well, we told you he has passed it down, and his son Jaden taking a little work off the tee the other day. Check this out, Rock. Watch the finish.
That ball a little bit high, isn't it?
That's classic.
That ball about chin high for Jaden, but look at the finish. Look at it, just like his father.
It's great. What a moment here. So Braun and Fielder go back to back, bringing them to their feet here at Miller Park. And now next on the list is Casey McGee, sitting on 99 RBIs. Jorge Sosa is in the pitch. Sosa in relief of Adalberto Mendez, who goes 2+, gives up 6 runs.
Sosa has bounced back and forth between Florida and the minor leagues. He got called up on July 21st after getting sent down early in the season. Second appearance in the series here at Miller Park.
Another former Met pitched for Willie Randolph in New York. 6-1 Milwaukee. 4 home runs here today. As McGee stays hot, another base hit. Well, Casey's batting average is on the rise, pushing 290 now. And another base runner for Lorenzo Cain, who belted his first career Major League homer back in the second. They gave him the silent treatment when he first arrived in the dugout. Nobody was there for him. And then they let him off the hook.
Only lasted a couple of seconds.
Shallow center, falling fast. That's going to get down, a base hit. The hits keep coming for the Brew Crew. 4 consecutive hits, 5 consecutive base runners. Now 2 on, nobody out.
8 hits now in 2+ innings. Still nobody out in the 3rd inning. That's the thing that's been impressive about Lorenzo Cain. When you watch him up there and you see the way he swings, he uses that back leg. They call him a back leg guy. Finishes with most of his weight on his back leg. You would think you could pitch him away and he wouldn't be able to reach that outside corner, but that's not been the case. He's been able to drive some balls into right center. But it's very difficult to get a fastball in on him by him. They're more of a balanced approach on that swing.
Craig Counsell doubled his last time up. Brewers have already posted 8 hits in this game.
Half of them homers.
Doing what they do best. Their final game at Miller Park this year.
Yep, and Brewers yesterday got all singles. Every one of their hits last night, singles.
Shut out last night, the Brewers were. It is unusual that a team that scores this many runs and this powerful of an offense has been shut out 14 times. You wouldn't go for an all or nothing, but there have been times when the Brewers offense has been non-existent, but not today. 6 runs on 8 hits. And still at it, and we're only in the 3rd inning. 2 on, nobody out for Counsell. And that one's going to sneak through. The shortstop Martinez broke the wrong way. Casey McGee will score. That's going to be a base hit and an RBI, and it's 7-1 Milwaukee.
I'm not sure what was going on there. Was there maybe a pickoff play on? I'm not exactly certain what happened there, but Martinez was running towards second base. No idea what he was doing.
That was after the ball was put in play.
And that looked crazy. That was a crazy looking play right there. But Craig Counsell, the beneficiary. Now, first a misplay in left field for a double for Craig. And then Martinez runs up the middle and the ball hitting a hole.
That one might need an explanation. I've never seen a fielder move away from a batted ball, unless he just didn't see it. Was, gauging on the swing that it was maybe up the middle, not sure.
Well, and again, unless there was a pickoff play on. Once the ball got to the hitting zone, maybe he was supposed to sneak in behind the hitter, but I guess if you see the ball making contact, you got to get back. You got to at least stop. Crazy looking play.
With the 4 home runs today, the Brewers have caught and passed the Cincinnati Reds for the most homers in the National League. Cincinnati with 177. Now the Brewers with 179. The Reds will play at San Diego later today as Lucroy strikes out.
Yeah, he wasn't sure what was going on there. I guess that's what it was. It was, I guess, supposed to be a pickoff of some kind, but once the pitcher starts his delivery to home plate, you got to stop or you had to do something. There's an audible call or what have you. That was just a mix-up.
So 1 gone, 2 on. Here's Capuano up there to bunt. That home run for Fielder, by the way, moves him into a tie with Mark Reynolds for 5th in the National League. 32 homers.
Associated Bank is the home of Brewers Checking. Get Brewers theme checks, a baseball MasterCard check card, team store discounts, ticket offers, and more. Visit Associated Bank for Brewers Checking. Associated with Sports.com.
And Capuano bunts through it. And now Kane is between second and third. He gets back. Hatcher didn't throw the ball right away, and Kane is able to sneak back to second base.
Yeah, if he threw right away, Kane might have just slid into third base. He might have just pulled the old sucker play on him. You can see not very happy in that Marlins dugout. They've been giving away some outs. Bunts right through it, and for a catcher, that's a perfect opportunity to pick off a runner at second base. And you try and drop down that bunt. Kane trying to get a big lead to get to third base safely and almost in no man's land.
One pump fake too many for Chris Hatcher. So the inning is still alive. And Ricky Weeks with a chance to drive in some runs.
But in a play like that, you would much rather have, right there, he probably should have thrown it. But you don't want to throw to second base right away because that's a sucker play. I mean, a lot of veteran guys would just have them get that big lead like that and just go to third base on the throw to second. That's 2 pretty long throws. So you're kind of gun shy to get rid of the ball to second base too quickly on that play. You don't ever want to be caught on the sucker play. That was a Paul Molitor. He mastered that play.
Juan Pierre of the White Sox does that all the time.
Right, when he was at second base, Molitor. Incredible.
High chopper. And Martinez will make the play for the out. The inning is over, but the Brewers score 4 runs. And the 2 big bats go back to back. Ryan Braun, his second homer of the day, gets him 25 and 100 for the year. Fielder follows him up with his 32nd. 7-1 Milwaukee.
be. Yesterday, before the matchup with the Marlins, the Brewers surprised their fans with a visit to the parking lot to thank them for another incredible season here at Miller Park. The guys took golf carts out to personally thank Brewer Nation for all their support, and they also passed out T-shirts as an added bonus. Now, guys, how cool is it to come to the ballpark to see your favorite Brewer, and he comes out to the parking lot to greet you?
That'd be awesome. I mean, you see Todd Coffey. Now, Todd Coffey thoroughly enjoyed that.
He likes shooting things.
He had that gun. He had the T-shirt gun. I think the only way he would have liked it better if it was filled with hot dogs.
Yeah.
They don't do that here at Miller Park, do they?
Fire off hot dogs?
Fire the hot dogs?
No.
Where is that? Cincinnati?
I respect your brats.
Yeah, you can't be firing off Clements hot dogs like that.
That's a total lack of respect for all that edible goodness. I don't know how many teams send their guys out though, and go around the parking lots. Well, there are very few major league settings that actually have tailgating going on that early before a game.
Well, you can't do that at Wrigley.
Right.
That would be a mess.
Casey McGee, long throw, gets Udlow. One out here in the fourth inning, and Capuano has retired 9 straight now.
Last 5 on the ground. Last 5 outs have been ground balls. Always a good sign for Cappy. Good sign for any pitcher to get ground ball outs.
There's a great shot. Father and daughter, they both have their gloves on, ready to go. Love seeing that. A lot of kids at the ballpark today. That's usually the case on Sundays. Sunday matinees throughout the course of the season. It's one of those rare occurrences here at Miller Park where the roof is closed but the sun is out. The reason that is because temperatures are in the 50s outside, so they want to keep it comfortable for the fans.
It's a very nice fall day, autumn.
And it gives you a great look here, as it's kind of an angelic view as the sun beams in through the windows. You don't see it much. Huh? Yeah, look at that.
Angelic.
Look at that ray of sun coming down.
Yep.
Shining down on the fans.
Couple innings, it's not going to be very angelic for the hitters.
No, that's right. Important to get a good lead. Oh, you get a little sentimental today. It's the last game of the baseball schedule in Milwaukee.
Yeah, you know what? It's an old corny cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. I can't believe the season's almost over. Honestly, this season has flown by. Yeah. They say time goes quickly when you get old. It's true.
That's true.
You get older.
There's a base hit. Time's really going quickly for you these days.
Man.
Our AT&T trivia. Who is the career home runs leader at Miller Park? That's a good question. Ballpark opened in 2001. Mike Stanton will bat with one away.
It seems like only yesterday we were packing up out of Arizona from spring training, headed back to Milwaukee. And here it is, 1 week left.
And it'll be the last baseball game in this ballpark until next April. April 4th is the home opener against the Atlanta Braves. That one is ripped. Oh, look at this play. Counsell to second. Can't connect with a throw, but an amazing stop by Craig Counsell.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. That is a great play by Counsell. My goodness, how hard was that ball hit off the bat of Mike Stanton? That ball was a rocket, a one-hopper. I think Counsell's kind of surprised by that. Look at the way he angles back. He gets the ball in the webbing. Just couldn't keep it in there, but Now Sanchez getting down the line over to second base very quickly. Counsell not able to get much of a throw off. That was tremendous reflexes by Craig Counsell. He's got a lot left in that tank, does Craig.
Even at the age of 40, you figure he'll play again next year. He says he takes it year by year, but certainly hope to see him in a Brewers uniform next year. Wouldn't have it any other way.
I know the Brewers would love to have him back. What a great utility player he is. He has had a tremendous playing career. Almost never even got started.
Yep.
He got released early.
By the Rockies. That's what I'm talking about, Rock. See? Angelic.
Talking about Craig Counsell, and here comes the sun, right?
That's right. Great shot. Strike on the inside corner. 0-2 the count on Wes Helms. Marlins with back-to-back hits here in the fourth. After Capuano had retired 9 in a row. Florida got a first-inning run as Jose Seda loosens down in the bullpen for the Fish. Brewers have scored 7 unanswered on 9 hits, 4 home runs.
And Marlins have 10 relievers in their bullpen, but they're all right-handed. They have no lefties available.
Marlins are headed to Atlanta. They'll have a series with the Braves coming up next. Marlins have been known to spoil many postseason hopes in the past in that National League East, whether it be the Braves or the New York Mets. There was a couple of years there that the Marlins, in 07 and 08, they single-handedly knocked the Mets out down the stretch.
A team with nothing to lose is a tough opponent.
Little bouncer, McGee will wait for it. Step on the bag, and it's in time. Smart play, Casey McGee. He knew his base runner. Let the ball come to him, and it turns into a 5-3 double play. And subs game reset. Final home game of the year, and it's been a doozy so far. Braun with 2 home runs, 25 homers, 100 RBIs for Braun. We saw Lorenzo Cain's first major league home run. That came in the second inning. Fielder followed Braun in the third. Back-to-back homers from the two big sluggers. The Cousin Subs game reset. Brewers 7, Marlins 1. A lot of offense already for Milwaukee, and in the meantime, Chris Capuano is pitching well. Just one run through the first 4 innings. Jorge Sosa back on the mound. Corey Hart at the plate to lead off. Hart, Braun, and Fielder. Same 3 that led off the 3rd inning. Sun has certainly been shining on Ryan Braun since late July. What a turnaround he's had. Not that he was putting up poor numbers, but the numbers he's put up since late July are jumping off the charts at you at this point.
Yeah, 9 home runs, 36 RBIs since July 31st. To say nothing about a batting average at around 390.
And that's over a 49 game stretch. He's done all that damage.
He's raised his average 35 points. That's unbelievable when you think about it, with that many at bats.
Slow roller going to be a tough play. Wes Helms fires, and Hart is in there. An infield hit for Corey Hart.
Well, even when the Brewers aren't hitting the ball all that well, it seems like they're finding their way on base. You know, Wes Helms able to get there, but just not able to set himself and get the ball on its way to first base in time. Corey Hart sniffing single as he gets down that first baseline. Corey's first hit, second time he's been on.
So Hart is aboard, and here's Braun, who has 2 two-run homers. The last 3-homer game for the Milwaukee Brewers was back in 03, May of 03. Jeff Jenkins did it against San Diego. Braun will have a few at-bats to accomplish that feat. Braun currently 6th in the league in hitting, batting .308, 6th in the league in RBIs with 100. He leads the league in multi-hit games. Braun has 60 now. That one's hit well to center field, but right at Maben. And a line drive out for the first out of the 4th. So Braun retired. Here's Prince. And our AT&T trivia. The question: who is the career home run leader at Miller Park? And if you guessed very dramatically Prince Fielder, you would be right. 99 home runs here, so it'll be a milestone with his next home run. Well, AT&T phone kind of moving a little slow.
It was. It needs a battery charge. I got a charger up here if they need it.
Dramatic reveal. Fielder, by a long shot, the home run leader at Miller Park. Well, you don't know. Many have speculated this might be Prince Fielder's final game here at Miller Park. Who knows what will happen in the offseason. We had a visit with Mark Atanasio the first game of this homestand, and he'd like to keep Prince. He wants to sign him to a long-term deal and roll this offense out of there with Fielder and Braun and Hart and McGee and take a shot at it next year.
Yeah.
So see how it goes.
Yeah, it all depends on how much it's going to cost the Brewers and how long. It's always what it comes down to. Of course, the Brewers would like to sign Prince. That goes without saying. You just got to weigh, the financial aspect of it and how the Brewers intend to improve their pitching staff. I mean, you might get some trades involved or free agency. The Brewers farm system is helping already here in the month of September.
Well, whatever happens, it's been a great run in Milwaukee, and Prince Fielder, his first career home run came here at Miller Park. And it was back in 05. It was June 25th of 05. They brought Prince up primarily to DH in interleague play. Obviously, it was a National League setting, that particular game, but Fielder put his stamp on Miller Park. And here he is, 99 home runs later. Always a threat. Fielder leads the league in walks, and he is aboard for Casey McGee. Well, you know McGee would love to get it over with right here. He's been sitting at 99 for a few days. This is a game infatuated with round numbers. And psychologically, there is a big difference between 99 and 100.
And sometimes it gets into your head. You think about it, you press a little bit. It'd be nice to get 3 100s today. You get Casey's RBIs, you got Ryan's already, and Prince hit another home run for 100. That'd be nice. Good way to finish the year at home.
All round numbers, see?
Right.
You don't think much about the difference between 72 and 73 RBIs, but you certainly do with 99 and 100. Triple digits.
299 and 300 for a batting average makes a big difference.
Yep.
Just ask Prince.
Yeah, he came up just short last year. He was one hit away from hitting 300 last year. Tony La Russa intentionally walked him in his final at bat.
And he knew. You know he knew.
Even if he didn't.
We're going to accuse him of knowing.
Absolutely. Well, a base hit, and Hart could score to give McGee his 100th. Bouncing ball, Ugla plays it off the stomach. Everybody's safe. That took a tough hop for Dan Ugla.
That should be a base hit too. Everything's bouncing the way of the Brewers. We'll see what they elect to score it, but that would have been a tough play. If Ugla gets it, he might be able to get Prince Fielder. A high chopper off the front of the plate. A tricky hop. It looked like it picked up some speed as it hit the second time. And it'll be an error on Dan Ugla. I think Ugla was thinking about a double play. That's why he tried to hurry himself just a bit there.
So the bases are loaded. An infield hit, a walk, and an error. And now Lorenzo Cain. 7-1 Brewers, bottom of the fourth. There's a strike. Well, who knows? Maybe a few years from now we'll be flashing back to Lorenzo Cain's first home run at Miller Park, like we did with Prince Fielder back in '05. Mark it down, Rock. September 27th, 2010, against the Marlins.
They could probably do it right now if you wanted it.
They can do anything
if you forgot. Don't have to wait a couple of years.
So Cain's having some trouble with his vision right now, trying to shake some cobwebs loose. Got big plans in New York, partner? Going back to your home turf almost?
I don't think that any family's coming up. I mean, we did the family thing in Philly, but I'm going to hit a couple of delis. I know that.
Your family has seen enough of you.
Yeah, that's it. They've had enough of me.
Once a year, that's enough. And Cain is down on strikes. Carnegie Deli's always a good spot.
At Carnegie Deli, Katz's Deli. We got the Stage Deli. All three of them pretty good.
Well, 4 days in New York, you'll have a shot at all four.
I don't know if my system could take all that, but I'm going to give it a run.
Give you something to work off for the off season. I'm sure you can find a new belt in New York somewhere.
Oh, I got plenty to work on in the off season without that.
There's only so much you can do with greatness. Broken bat. Uglove is over, and he'll take it to the bag for the out. The inning is over. The Brewers fail to score for the first time.
Game of 2010, head to the fifth inning, and the Brewers with a 7-1 lead. And just a reminder, don't miss Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, Neil Young, Kenny Chesney, and more as Farm Aid's 25th anniversary concert plays right here at Miller Park on Saturday, October 2nd. Tickets are on sale now. Call 414-902-4000 or visit tickets.com.
Beautiful Miller Park. That's going to be a great venue for Farm Aid. Can't wait to see how Miller Park looks for that event. The Brewers will be in Cincinnati that day. A lot of the front office will be there. Bouncing ball to third. McGee makes quick work of Chris Hatcher. 1 pitch, 1 out for Capuano in the fifth. And with the pitcher spot coming up, it's going to be Hector Luna. Batting for Jorge Sosa. Sosa goes 2 innings, gives up 1 run on 4 hits. Capuano is cruising along here with all of the offense. It's gone a little bit unnoticed, but just 1 run on 4 hits thus far, and that run came in the first. Fielder range is over, and he hits Capuano on the run. 2 gone. A lot of ground ball outs for Chris Capuano. Say fans, a reminder to buy your tickets now for Brewers on Deck 2011. That is on Sunday, January 30th at the Frontier Airlines Center. Features autographs, interactive games for kids, and more. Advanced ticket sales are on sale now. Plus, if you purchase by October 3rd, you get a voucher for a select Brewers home game next April. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com on deck save on your advance tickets. Always a fun event. A lot of players come out for that. We do the various games, you know, have some of the game shows. The Family Feud style games, always a big hit. That's usually the one Rock hosts. Sounds like you're going to be at fantasy camp this year, though, partner.
Right. Well, back-to-back years, I think they're doing that on purpose. Get me out of town. I don't mind being in Arizona in end of January.
If you can't be in Arizona at fantasy camp, the best place to be is inside the Frontier Airlines Center. Get you thinking about baseball again. Quick inning for Capuano. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the home 5th. Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade.
And the Hamilton Bar in Cedarburg is today's Tavern of the Game winner. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to an April or May Brewers home game in 2011. It's all for courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends from Miller Lite.
Sunday baseball here at Miller Park. The season wraps up next Sunday at the final home game of the year here today. 7-1 Milwaukee on 4 homers. Ryan Braun has hit 2 home runs today and now with 100 RBIs for the season. Jose Seda will come into pitch for the Marlins. He's the 3rd pitcher used by Edwin Rodriguez.
Here's a guy who started in A-ball, got promoted to Double-A, made his major league debut on the day he got called up. That was September 6th. A lot of young players, a lot of young guys for the Marlins that do not have a whole lot of high minor league experience. You know, Triple-A, a lot of guys from A-ball, Double-A. Running these guys out there in September, see what they have for next year.
Yeah, forcing the pitching development by getting him to the big leagues. Edwin Rodriguez took over this club and actually has a winning record. Freddie Gonzalez was the manager with the Florida Marlins. Many feel Gonzalez is headed to the Atlanta Braves next year to follow Bobby Cox in Atlanta. Edwin Rodriguez will get an interview for the job. There's going to be a lot of managerial positions open next season.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason, not just for the Brewers, for a lot of ball clubs. I guess everybody's going to be wondering who is going to get that Cubs job.
Well, Bob Brenly was taken out of the list of candidates yesterday. Ugla lays out. What a play by Dan Ugla.
You love that kind of hustle, huh? Yeah, he's really turned into a good defender. We've been talking about how well he hits and his home run power, but he doesn't get a lot of recognition for his defense. This is a heck of a play. Stretches out, 7-1 down, and able to haul it in. Good hustle by Dan Uggla. That's a beauty.
That's a full-on belly flop right there. Dan Uggla makes a great catch for the first out. And here is Chris Capuano. To Uggla again, much easier play. 2 gone. Well, what a career he's having. His 4th consecutive 30-homer season. So funny when you think about Uggla now, and he's an all-star, and he's a force in a lineup. Everybody knows his name. You know he's a threat in that lineup. When he first came up, that was the big question. Who is this guy? And then our good friends over there on the Marlins television network, Rich Waltz and Tommy Hutton, they came up with that signature call. Every time he do something good, his name is Dan Uggla. And they'd announce it after every big moment. He's a household name now.
I would imagine they did that on that catch.
You think so? Wonder if we can get that. There's Tommy and Rich. Good friends of ours. Great broadcasters.
Tommy Hutton's been at it a long time with the Marlins. I think he was telling me 14 years over there. He's good. He was a heck of a first baseman.
Lefty. All buttoned up. They've got the. They don't have the Miami look going today. It's a little cool for them here.
It's getaway day. Got to knot up on getaway day.
Is that why we're wearing ties today?
Yes.
He's healthy. Look at Rich Waltz's partner's eating an apple. My partner's chowing down a Clemens Brock.
Now that's not true. I had a bowl of fruit up here.
Yeah. After 6 eggs,
not that I wouldn't
9
enjoy a
pieces
Clemens
of bacon.
Not that I haven't had one yet today.
Let me go for some health food.
See right here, that was full of fruit. See, whole thing gone.
I think Rock ate the entire pig today. He had sausage, bacon, and ham.
You forgot? Yeah, okay, you're right. How about the cheese blintzes? Did you try those? They were good.
Oh yeah, and the fruit.
All of that, but I stayed away from the bread and the potatoes. That was a case of the talkback button again, wasn't it?
Did you say something wrong?
They didn't have any Clemens chorizo. That's a good breakfast
oh,
meat.
You bet.
That's awesome.
And a tortilla with some eggs.
Right. But you didn't hear what I said about my breakfast, right? You were talking to somebody?
I was listening, actually.
Oh, yeah? With your lips moving, huh?
We don't ignore Rock. We just choose when to listen. Ricky Weeks draws the walk. All right, take it back to that play from Dan Uggla and our buddy Rich Waltz.
It gives you insight into how John Baker thinks. Uggla diving, catching Dan Uggla.
Oh, but he didn't offer his name is Dan Uggla.
Right.
See, that would be a perfect spot for it. I guess he only does it after home runs.
Now, did you make that up?
No, that's the truth.
That's true.
Now we're going to have to ask him to do it. And then we'll edit it in later.
There'll be some interest in Dan Uggla at the end of the season and in the offseason. Free agent, right?
Absolutely. A lot of teams will be on Dan Uggla after 4 straight 30-homer seasons. It's hard to do something in this game and be the only one to ever accomplish it. That, the game's been around so long. There are so many numbers. But that man right there in the mascara is the only second baseman in the history of baseball with 4 30-home run seasons.
And when you do that, you don't have to have a stylish haircut. Right? I wonder what that is. That's kind of a...
it's an Uggla hawk.
Some type of a mohawk going on there.
I'll tell him he said that.
It's okay. We don't see him again.
Have you seen Brian Wilson lately?
Yes, I have. Yeah, in San Francisco, actually.
Yeah. And he's got the world's most interesting man beard going, and it's jet black, and he's got the mohawk. He might shave that off after last night.
Yeah, that was a heck of a game, wasn't it?
Rockies with a comeback. Guess who? Troy Tulowitzki last night. Coming up big. Got a game-tying double and then a game-winning double in extra innings as the Rockies came back to beat the Giants, thus giving the Padres the top spot in the West today. That is down the line, foul, just missed the bag.
Yeah, Corey Hart thought that was a fair ball. There's a good angle on it. That looked like it might have been close, but Jerry Meals right on top of it.
Fair or foul balls down the line is a very sore subject for the Florida Marlins. They lost a game this year on a batted ball that looked like it was fair, called foul against the Phillies as Hart draws a walk. So back-to-back base runners with 2 outs, and here comes Ryan Braun, sitting on 2 homers here today. 2 homers, 4 RBIs. His last time up, he lined out. It went sharply to center field. At the plate, presented by Wendy's. 2 2-run home runs for Braun.
Yeah, just about the identical spot in the second deck and left. 2 different pitches. Hit a slider and then a fastball, and that the out that he made in center field was probably hit just as hard as the 2 home runs.
We hit the air wondering if Braun could get to 100 RBIs this year. He gets there tonight or today with 4 RBIs. And the next milestone on his list is 30 homers. He's 5 home runs away from 30 now, with 7 to play after today's game. Braun is sitting on 99 runs scored. So that's another significant milestone when you score 100 runs in a season. Last year was the first year Braun had ever scored more than 100. The sun is really beaming in. Just crossing over home plate.
It's tough for everybody to see right now. I mean, that was a backup slider from Seda that Chris Hatcher didn't see all that well. Everybody concerns himself with a hitter and how he sees the baseball. Umpires and catchers go through the same thing. Those catching games at twilight, always a challenge, especially when you have a hard thrower out there.
Hitters count 3-1, 2 on. And took a big cut at it. There has not been a Brewer to homer 3 times in a game since Jeff Jenkins in 03. Braun with a chance today. Runners go. Braun takes ball 4. So content with the walk. The bases are loaded for Prince Fielder.
Well, 2 outs and nobody on for Seda. He's walked the last 3 hitters. Back-to-back innings, the Brewers have had the bases loaded.
Well, Fielder and Braun went back-to-back in the 3rd inning. And Prince's was one of those tape measure shots that we're accustomed to seeing off the bat of Prince Fielder. Fielder's 32nd of the year, and now with 80 runs batted in. Randy St. Clair, a quick visit with Seda. Marlins have used 3 pitchers already. Their starter lasted just 2+. Bouncing ball. Ugla will make the play. The inning is over. The Brewers strand the bases loaded, and they fail to score. It's 7-1 Milwaukee. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Doing the chicken dance here at Miller Park as the sun beams through the panels Chris Capuano working on a 4-hitter. He's given up just 1 run, which came in the first inning.
Yeah, 4 hits, 2 of them infield hits. So Cappy's been throwing the baseball well. Actually, Cappy's first 4 outs came in the air.
Ricky Weeks, it's off his glove, got a chance, the throw is in time. He's stuck with it. And Weeks gets his man after all.
And that'll go down as a ground ball out. Cappy's only allowed 5 fly ball outs. His first 4 outs in the game were fly ball outs until the last out in the 5th. That'll go down as a 4-3 ground out. Ricky able to knock it down, not able to keep it in the glove, but able to get Martinez at first base.
Well, we talk about the shadows tough on the hitters, but that was probably the case where with the hitter in sunlight, probably tough on Ricky Weeks coming off the bat. That ball goes from sunlight to shade, and it's tough to get a read on it.
Yeah, that ball changing colors, and a lot of times your depth perception will be affected when that happens. Hard to tell how hard it's hit, how close it is to you, and Ricky did a nice job staying with that one.
Center field, Kane. 2 gone. Chris Capuano with 68 pitches thus far. Remember, he was well over 20 pitches in the first inning. So he has been on a streamline since.
It's been an amazing story to watch him pitch. A quick inning in the 5th, and on his way to a quick inning here in the 6th. Including today, his last 5 starts, tremendous. It's got to feel good for Capuano. It looks like this will be his last start of the year. Or does he get another one?
Well, the Brewers are on a 6-man rotation right now. There's 7 games left.
Should have one.
Now, I noticed that too. You're going off what he said in his comment, because I interviewed him and he said that as well, and he said it would be my last start, and you know, I thought maybe he just meant at Miller Park.
You didn't want to pursue it?
Well, I think he gets one more start.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about pitching here at home, and he was saying his last start at Miller Park. But the Brewers, basically, with Mark Rogers in the rotation, have 6 pitchers. Counsell ranging over, and in time for the out. Close play. Craig Counsell has looked good at short. 3 up, 3 down inning. On the heels of 4 homers, Braun has 2. He's driven in 4 to give him 100 RBIs for the year. Lorenzo Cain, his first Major League home run. It came in the second. Fielder's bomb came immediately after Ryan Braun's home run. Prince with 32 on the year. Meanwhile, Chris Capuano through 6 has given up just 1 run on 4 hits. And the final Clements Racing sausage race of the season. We'll see him again next spring in Arizona. They'll hand it off to the Little Weenies today on Sunday. A little confusion going on there with the Little Weenies. So a new pitcher, and we are going to have a Major League debut here. Steve Cishek is on the pitch for the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, Falmouth, Massachusetts. That's Cape Cod, partner. Not a bad place to grow up. There's another guy that started the year in A-ball, went to Double-A, and now making his Major League debut. He was a 5th-round draft choice of the Marlins back in '07.
Let's see now. When you played in the Cape Cod League, how old were you? What years were you in the Cape Cod League?
Well, let me try and think now. That was between my sophomore and junior year.
Back in the 70s.
In college.
Late
70s, yeah. 77, I think it was.
Well, let's put it this way. Cishek was not even close to being around when you were playing in the Cape Cod League. He was born in '86, just 24 years of age. I don't mean to make you feel bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah, what significance does that have here?
There's a connection there, but maybe with Cishek's father.
Maybe he booed me when the hiatus Mets went into Falmouth.
Nobody booed Bill Schroeder.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the Cape Cod League Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Me and Greg Vaughn went in there last year, amongst others. That was a lot of fun. Went to Cape Cod last November for those ceremonies.
That's a great honor, man.
That's a big deal for the folks in Cape Cod. They do a heck of a job. That's probably the best college league in the country.
Yep. As McGee is put out, 2-3. The Northwood Woods League has come on in the last few years. It's a strong college wood bat league.
Yeah.
Up in Alaska, they have a wood bat league as well.
There's a bunch of them.
But the Cape Cod League is a piece of Americana, really.
One of the oldest. It is the oldest.
Some of the greatest players in this game have gone through the Cape Cod League. That's why it's such an honor for you to be in their Hall of Fame. That's
they had a nice ceremony. You know who went in that same year last year? Pie Traynor.
Oh, is that right?
He was represented by a couple of his nieces, and Peter Gammons spoke. Bobby Valentine was there. So, yeah, it's a big deal. These people do a nice job up there in Cape Cod.
Lorenzo Cain. And Nabin will run it down. So 2 outs in the 6th. Here's Craig Counsell. How was Pie Traynor? You play with him? Oh, you're not that old.
No. I just look at
Pie Traynor played in the 20s. He's
right.
a Hall of Fame Pittsburgh Pirate. It's not even fair anymore.
It's okay. I'll tell you one thing, going around that, the different cities in Cape Cod and seeing the stadiums, they're a lot different than they were back when I played. Nice ballparks back then. Or I should say now. Back then, we had a storm fence in the outfield.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Chain link. And a couple of lights and go get them.
Yeah.
Maybe a few headlights and some automobiles.
Played all day games. Not many of the stadiums had lights, so we would start at about 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Little pop up out to short. Ozzie Martinez makes a catch. 3 up, 3 down. 6 in the books. We head to the 7th. 7-1 Milwaukee. by Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. A great Milwaukee landmark, the Art Museum, down on Lake Michigan. And we welcome you back to Miller Park. Chris Capuano was warming up to start the 7th inning, and then all of a sudden, Ken Maka and athletic trainer Dan Wright come out there to see him. So he's going to exit this game, and he's smiling as he walks off, but we'll be anxious to get a report. Look at a standing ovation as he exits. So we'll take a break. We'll set up the new pitcher when we come back. We'll see how severe it is. We're trying to get a report for you. Brandon Kinsler is on the pitch. Final home game of the season here today at Miller Park. It's been a good one so far. Coming up next, our Miller Lite What's on Tap. The Brewers will be in New York tomorrow at Citi Field to start a 4-game series with the Mets. And all 4 games of that series, airtime is 5:30, and all 4 on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Then the Brewers head to Cincinnati for the final 3 of the season, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's our Miller Lite What's on Tap. So Brandon Kinsler will get a shot here, his 5th appearance in the big leagues.
And it's really only one bad outing for Kinsler. He pitched the scoreless 9th inning against the Reds on Wednesday. Got called up on September 7th. So he got here for Trevor Hoffman's 600th save. Was a Double-A Southern League All-Star this year.
He's a great story. He came out of the independent leagues, playing for the St. Paul Saints 2 years ago. The Brewers spotted him in the Northern League All-Star game and gave him a chance, and lo and behold, he makes it to the big leagues by getting hitters out and throwing a lot of strikes.
22 games in AAA after spending 20 games in AA. Racked up some strikeout totals down in the minor leagues. Well, you hope nothing serious is wrong with Chris Capuano. Another very good outing. His 5th consecutive start where he was very good. Only 72 pitches to get through 6 innings.
Well, you can't base it all on body language, but Capuano was smiling on his way out. You know, it doesn't seem like a serious injury, but we will wait and see. Capuano in line for his 4th win. That would even his record at 4-4. Just the 1 earned run today, which came in the 1st inning. Full count to Gabby Sanchez. He drove in that 1st run with a sac fly in the 1st. And a single his last time up. And it's a little bit low, ball 4. Now, as Rock mentioned, Kinsler's first day in the big leagues was the day Trevor Hoffman nailed down number 600. How about that for of memory? 3 days later, Kinsler made his big league debut against the Cubs.
I think that's what he's going to remember more than that 600 save. First time he was on a big league mound. Good story, huh? Independent baseball, and not very long after in the big leagues.
Well, as late as July of '09, the major leagues must have seemed like a million miles away for Brandon Kinsler. Signed with the Brewers July 24th of '09. And a year later, he's in the big leagues. Sticking to it. You can do it as a pitcher a lot easier than you can as a position player. But the velocity's there for him. He's not a big guy at all. He's about 5'10". I think he's listed as 6'1", but that's not even close.
And gets it up there at about 95 miles an hour.
That's his independent ball numbers. Trying to get signed as Stanton strikes out. 6'1" in his spikes on top of the scale.
Right. Well, he pitches like he's 6'1". That's a nice slider right there. He's got the good sinker going in on right-handers, and then the slider going away.
A little bit unorthodox. He fires that lead hand high up in the air. Kind of reminds me of Kevin Appier. Remember Kevin Appier?
Mm-hmm.
Throws that hand up there.
He had a good sinker and a split finger fastball, did Appier. It is pretty standard. It finishes with a stiff front leg. That means he's going to get a little movement on it, a little bit of sink, a little tail on it.
But there certainly has to be some deception there from the hitter's perspective. As Kinsler fires that lead hand up high, the glove hand, and it's hard to pick up the baseball, say the hitters.
It's all about hiding it. Yes, not allowing the hitter to see it too early. Whatever it takes.
On the ground to McGee, scoops it up to second for one. They turn it. Double play. Inning over. So the Brewers work around a leadoff walk as Brandon Kinsler gets the double play ball. Well, for the final time this year, Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. Enjoy.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain
7-1 Brewers as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Davey and I, our last home hit of the year, and we have the news on Chris Capuano. He left the game with a left groin strain, so that's the news on Cappy. Hope that doesn't turn out to be too serious, but he's in line for his 4th win, and he got the offense here, 4 home runs. Pretty fun way for the fans to go out.
Well, it certainly is, and this is what this team is all about, is home runs, and you know what? They're putting on a show.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we'll talk about that in our post games. Get some final reactions with Telly Hughes down in the dugout as well. And I know you and Rock planning a very special instructional for the final home game.
Well, what we're going to do is go through and tell you give you some tips on how to stay ready during the off season with some good instructional tips.
So winter tips. So you're going to get your winter coat out and your boots. I didn't think you owned that living in Florida.
I don't, but I've got some really good tips.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to that coming up after the game, guys.
And Rock, what will your role be in the instructional today?
Just keeping myself ready for the season.
Right.
In the off season, you're talking about if I was a player, right?
Oh, I just mean in the instructional today with Davey. I'm wondering what your role will be.
I'm going to be following Davey. I'm going to moderate the whole session. Davey says he's got some great tips.
So you're going to turn it over to Dave Nelson.
Absolutely. This is Davey's show.
All right. So you won't be really doing much other than it's being used as a prop.
So apparently I'm not going to need my ball and gloves. I'm going to miss the instructionals. This is our last one.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great run. We put together quite a highlight reel of instructionals. And they're always on foxsportswisconsin.com if you happen to miss them. Good things to do to stay in shape, get ready for the season next year. Joe Inglet pinch hits. His name is Dan Ugla, and he makes a play for the second out. By the way, I asked Rich Waltz, I asked him about that call. He says, well, they only do it on home runs. So, one of these days you'll see Dan Ugla hit a home run, and then they'll do it. Marlins are on the road. They're headed to Atlanta next. So they'll be dropping into a pennant race.
Now you're going to start doing His Name is Prince Fielder?
No, I need to come up with something.
How about Lorenzo Cain? You haven't come up with anything for him yet. Maybe just,
The easy one is, the Cain and Abel. But
no,
you know where I go. That's too simple.
No, that's not you.
You just got to let it happen, Don't force it. Everybody asks me how come I don't have a home run call. First of all, there's already a home run call. There's only one home run call per organization. And there's a pretty good one established here.
Right.
When they start putting it up in signage in the ballpark, then you're excluded from that. That's a great home run call. Bob Uecker. That's kind of a player's call. Get up, get out of here, gone.
Good to have Ueck back. Boy, we missed him for a while, didn't we?
It's all buttoned up.
Not the same without Ueck at the ballpark.
Everybody asked me, and I know they asked you this. What's your memories of the 2010 season? Trevor Hoffman, of course, but Bob Uecker and the heart surgery, and he missed a lot of games this year. And it was different without him on the road. So,
yeah, we don't get to see much of Ueck at home. But on the road and on the buses, a little different. You get to see more of the traveling party, obviously on the road, not so much at home.
Ricky Weeks rifles one to Wes Helms, makes a nice play. And a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th.
Also the rain, and it is going to be coming down pretty steadily, we think, through most of the game. They may just play right through it, but there could be a few rumbles of thunder out there, too.
Katie, that's not what we want to hear.
No, that's
not a good news forecast right there, Katie. By the way, if you want Katie's forecast, send it right to your phone, text keyword forecast to short code 234-234. Click on the link. That's not what I want on my phone.
You know, I would prefer to just have her lie to us and say it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be awesome, sunny skies. New York's beautiful this time of year. You know, she's got to go with her hunch.
Yeah.
She's a professional, you know.
Sometimes the truth hurts, doesn't it?
Jeremy Jeffress on to pitch the 8th inning. 7-1 Brewers lead the Florida Marlins.
Another one of the young guns that the Brewers have brought up from their minor league system. Well, this guy can throw a .225 earned run average in 8 games and an opponent batting average of just .207. I think I said brought up. That's not a word.
That works.
One of the young guns that the Brewers have brought up.
How many thousands and thousands of words have you said this year, Rock?
Correctly?
It's okay.
Handful, maybe. Sentences grammatically correct, maybe 3 or 4.
So you're hitting 300 at least.
As long as they know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Or have a sense for what I mean.
Leave it to the rest of us to clean up.
Right. That's your job. And a tough one at that.
Two balls and a strike on Chris Hatcher. 3 balls and a strike, I beg your pardon. It's Jeffress trying to get through a clean 8th inning. Brett Sinkbile. I think he has a sinker ball. There's a strike. 3-2. We're tracking a couple of games in the National League. Doesn't look like the Reds are going to be able to pop some champagne today. Their magic number is 2. The Cardinals lead the Cubs 8-5. You never know. Cubs have scored 5 unanswered runs. St. Louis at one point led 8-0 in that game. Now it's 8-5 in the 7th.
Well, you know the Brewers would love to be able to finish above Chicago when the season's all said and done. They currently have a 2-game lead over the Cubs.
Jeffress walks Hatcher. Now the Reds, with a Cardinal loss and a Cincinnati win later today in San Diego, they could clinch the division. San Diego leads the Reds 2-1. That game's in the 3rd inning. Joey Votto is homered again. 37 home runs for Votto now. Votto, Adrian Gonzalez, and Yorby Torrealba have all homered. Scott Cousins pinch hitting.
He's 2 for 3 in pinch hits in this series, and both of his hits have been triples down the right field line.
Ryan Braun is over. And he's got it. Fly ball out for Cousins. First out of the 8th inning. The Nationals beat the Braves today. Washington keeps Atlanta down. 4-2 the final score. To start play today, Atlanta was in a deadlock with the Giants, tied for the wild card race. Rockies 3.5 back in that picture. Colorado 4 back of the Padres in the West. San Francisco is in Colorado today, and the Giants are leading 3-0. Matt Cain is on the mound for the Giants today. Cain has 4 no-hit innings under his belt in Colorado. Big fan of Matt Cain. I think he's one of the best in the business. Lincecum gets most of the headlines in San Francisco. Rightly so. Back-to-back Cy Young Awards.
And we were out in San Francisco, and you talk to some of these folks that follow the Giants, they'll tell you that Matt Cain is the only guy that the Giants would not trade. Of course, they say that they'll be traded in the offseason, but that's what the Giants think of Matt Cain. They'd be willing to trade just about anybody else but him.
Out to Weeks, chance for two here to Council, and another double play. The third double play of the game for the Brewers. Dodge game reset. Brewers Marlins last home game of the season, and it's been a good one so far. Ryan Braun with 2 homers. He has 4 RBIs, 25 home runs, 100 RBIs for Braun. Lorenzo Cain's first big league homer. That came in the second. Fielder and Braun went back-to-back in the third. Prince with 32. Chris Capuano started. He went 6 innings. Just 1 run allowed. He left this game with a strained left groin. Something he's been battling this year. And our U.S. Cellular text to vote question this week. Who's the Brewers MVP this season? And it's a tight race between McGee and Corey Hart. Still a little bit of time left. You can text your answer to 234-234. We'll have the final results during Brewers Live postgame with Craig and Davey. Well, we want to send our best to the great Media Relations Department. They do great work for us all year. John Steinmiller and Ken Spindler. Those two are outstanding, aren't they, Rob?
Yes, they are. They are on top of just about everything. Particularly enjoy it when they're on the road with us.
Absolutely. So to Ken Spindler and John Steinmiller, thanks for a great season. And appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, very supportive. Both of them.
You know, not just great co-workers, Rock, great friends, I'd say.
Right.
Ken Spindler and John Steinmiller. Corey Hart leads off. Sinkbile is on the mound for the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, they brought him to the big leagues on September 14th. He spent the year in AAA New Orleans. 3-3 record, a .571 earned run average, and 58 appearances out of the bullpen.
Hard over to third, and Helms makes a play for the out. Corey retired. Brett Sinkbile. That's a good pitcher's name right there.
And he does have a good sinker.
It makes sense if he threw nothing but 4-seamers, right? That's a better name than Homer.
Homer Bailey for a pitcher?
Mm-hmm. That's a tough name for a pitcher.
All right, Cincinnati starter.
I remember when Grant Balfour, that's Trevor Hoffman, is getting loose for one last appearance at Miller Park. Remember Grant Balfour? Came to the Brewers and thinking, now that's a rough name for a pitcher. Balfour.
Right. He's had a pretty good time of it over there in Tampa.
Braun, little bouncer. That is a foul ball. It missed the bag. And our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question. Jake in Waukesha. Could Ricky Weeks have put up a Dan Uggla-like power numbers had he stayed healthy? Good question. Well, he's been healthy this year, and he has not quite achieved 30 home runs. But he's got a chance. Most games he's ever played this year after surgery on his wrist last year.
When you think about the injuries that he's had to endure, Ricky Weeks, I mean, nothing worse for a ball player than wrist problems. But A-OK this year, and has had a breakout season, and you wonder if the Brewers are thinking about a long-term contract for Ricky.
Braun down the left field line. And is going to be run down by Morrison. 2 outs in the inning. After 2 homers today, Braun gave it a shot. Gets a nice hand on his way in.
Hit just about everything today right on the nose. That one down on the trademark just a little bit, but still hit it well.
Standing ovation here for Prince Fielder. Well, many thinking that this is possibly Fielder's final at-bat in a Brewers uniform. We'll see how the offseason goes. Well, this could be quite a moment here with Fielder batting in the 8th and Trevor Hoffman getting ready for an appearance in the 9th.
Man, it's got to be tough for Prince to be patient in a situation like that. Everybody's standing. They want Prince to hit a home run. Finkbauer's not throwing him a strike, and Prince continues to be patient.
You know he'll have the green light here. And he walked him, so Fielder, symbolic of his season, very patient at the plate, continues to lead the league in walks, and fans don't like it. They boo the pitcher for not challenging Fielder. But it does set the stage here for Casey McGee. Fielder's coming out. There'll be pinch run for. Listen to this hand. Fans would love to see him back, but you don't know how the offseason is going to go, and it is possible that that will be his last bow at Miller Park in a Brewers uniform. So Casey McGee now in the spotlight with Escobar at first. Escobar pinch running for Prince. And off the end of the bat. Sanchez will take it to the bag. And the side retired. One more time for Prince. One more time for Trevor. Trevor time once again. It's not a save situation, but AC/DC rings through Miller Park, and possibly for the last time as Trevor Hoffman with 600 career saves. One of the great moments, the signature moment of the year here at Miller Park this season back on September 7th. He'll pitch for the 49th time. He has the 9th inning. He's trying to send the Brewers out of here with a victory and get the final 3 outs like he has done so often in his career.
Yep, second appearance on this homestand for Trevor Hoffman, and only his third appearance since getting that 600 saves, and a nice tribute that Ken Mock is giving Trevor. A 6-run lead, you bring him out and let the fans enjoy him one more time. Trevor doesn't normally like to have Hell's Bells playing when it's not a save situation, but I don't think the Brewers are going to pass up on that opportunity.
I don't think he minds at all.
No.
It was funny, though, to begin his tenure in Milwaukee. Remember the 09 season, spring training. The first time he pitches, that one is bounced up the middle. Weeks has it go off his glove. And Ozzie Martinez will reach. By the way, just to set the defense for you, fielder was lifted for a pinch runner, Escobar. So Casey McGee takes over at first base. Craig Counsell is at third now, and then Escobar is in the game at short. But when Hoffman came to the Brewers in 09, I remember in Arizona, the first time he pitched, they played Hell's Bells. And he quickly shut that down. He goes, no. That only needs to be played in a save situation. It took a little while to get all the rules going. And
that was the 4th or 5th inning in a spring training game.
That's right. Well, you have to wonder, as Prince Fielder played his final game at Miller Park in a Brewers uniform.
Yeah, very interesting situation when he got pinch run for. I'll tell you, smart fans here at Milwaukee, Miller Park fans, they know what's going on. You can't accuse them of not understanding the situation with Prince and a lot of the other players on the ball club, and they gave him an appropriate farewell for the season this year.
The fielder in an unfamiliar spot, sitting in the dugout and not on the field. He's played just about every inning of every game in his tenure as a Brewer, especially once he pushed into the starting lineup. Missed a game earlier this year in Houston with the flu, and that snapped his long consecutive games played streak as Hoffman hits the corner for a strike. Fielder played in a franchise record 327 consecutive games. A streak that started in September of 08, ended September 12th of this year. 2-2. Logan Morrison, the batter. Got him. The pitch that'll send him to the Hall of Fame. He got him with a changeup in the first out of the ninth inning.
Well, keeping it down in the strike zone, that's always been the key for Trevor. It was a 2-1 count. He threw a fastball in the corner, and then he got him with the changeup. Located down around the dirt.
Hoffman began his major league career as a Florida Marlin. Traded to San Diego in '93, and then a legend was born in San Diego. .600 saves.
May never happen again.
Mariano Rivera is the next on the list, and then after that, if Rivera does in fact get to 600, probably won't see it again.
He's a ways away too.
Got 2 years worth at least. Bouncing ball, maybe to second for one, reach the turn, and it is a double play. Out is the call. The ball game is over, and Trevor Hoffman does it again. He finishes off the ninth inning in style. Not a save, but a great memory. The fourth double play of the game for the Brewers. Or was it? Doesn't matter. Game's over. And our Menards player of the game, how about our fans of the year?